Computer. Okay. So
And
what?
where would I find this recording? Oh, this is through Zoom. This
Yeah,
is Zoom. So you
I'll
would
send
just
it to you.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
I'm going to share my computer so you can see the whole desktop. All right. So let's go to the dashboard. So you know how to you're already on MLP. I saw you're on MLP, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And then with your okay, so here's the thing that I wanted to tell you too. With Laura's, let's say that it's really quick back to back. So let's say that this week is already the fifth week, the finals week of the class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Friday. Class starts on Monday, but you won't get a class until today, right? We've asked that in the past to get it at least a week ahead, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're changing to Canvas, so I don't know what's going to happen within that transition either. But just for now, we're going to talk about just for now. If you have a class on Monday, a different class, a new term, you won't get your class until today, Friday, on the fifth week.
Okay. Wow, that's really close.
No, right? I tell you.
Okay. And that's all the class information, knowing how many students you have and
Oh yeah, you won't get anything until that Friday. It hasn't changed. We've asked to change it. It doesn't change. So we just go with it. But there's not that many to-do lists for you to do, so I'm not too worry about it, to be honest, because there's no checklist like, oh my God, you have to do all these major things. There's two things
yeah.
I want you to know though. So once you're on dashboard, your class will look like this. But you need to know your courses. So you got to click on my courses. Again, this might change because we're switching to Canvas soon. This is Moodle, right? So once you're on my courses, your courses will show up on that Friday of you either get one or two courses. I think to begin, you're gonna have one course, right? Your course
Okay.
will be so ahead of time, I think a week or maybe even longer, Shauna will tell you what class you'll be teaching.
Okay.
Okay. So
So
then,
you have no idea until a week ahead of time?
no, sometimes 2 weeks because it has
Okay.
to do with the grading with the students. The turnaround time is super tight, right?
Yeah.
But imagine like the students are not passing, then they can't move on to the next class, right? They have to wait for the grades to get finalized. But if you can't finalize the grade, how are you supposed to know which class they're going to be in if the student
Well,
fails?
aren't there multiple courses? I mean, are there multiple cohorts right now, or
Sometimes
is
it's
there?
double, sometimes there's double classes, like two BSM 120 or three BSM 465. But if there's only one offering, like let's say only one course because not many students need it, then
Yeah.
they have to wait for that grade turnaround. So it's really tight. But your course
Okay.
will show here. Once you see
Yes.
the course, make sure you hit this three button and star it, right? Right now it's unstar. So right here, it says star this course. The reason I star this course is two things. I know that this is my current courses right now, and the other one is my previous course in case I need to look up a student. Because if you don't star and you're teaching a lot, it just goes down, right? You can still find it, but
Okay.
the star goes on the top. That's why I do.
Yes.
Once
Okay.
you're in there, then you can click on the students, your class, and you'll figure out, okay, I'm on MLP and I see all the classes now. So in general, you have the announcement. This is your to-do list, by the way, on Friday. I do mine on Sunday. I don't, sometimes Monday. I will have a welcome announcement. That is a requirement from Laura's.
Okay. And that's the information that when class starts, you see that information on the left-hand side of the screen. Are you talking about something that everybody gets prior to day one?
Yes, or at day one. So basically, you'll get this welcome announcement. You create whatever announcements that you want. There's no template for it. This is my template though. I tell the students what it is, what the course is, and this comes from the syllabus. This one right here.
Okay.
Okay. That came from the syllabus. And then key information like what do you need? Like, a snippet, like a snapshot. Who's your instructor? What's the email? What's the office hours? What's the class schedule like? And where is the location? I think students like a snippet, right? It's just
Yes.
not about
Yes.
anything. Then I'm going to look at the course highlights, what's needed to the
A quick question. When do you send the announcement? When do you make it available for your students?
Friday. That remember that fifth week, that Friday, fifth week when you get the class, that's the
Okay,
time.
so everything that Friday before. Okay. Okay.
Yep. So getting started, tips for success, and then introduce yourselves. I usually will have it in here in case they want to introduce themselves, and if they're not doing it is okay. But this is where I would encourage some of my students to introduce themselves if they weren't. You know how on day one we introduce ourselves in class? So
Yes.
that's why they didn't really have this. But if I have too many that I want, I'm like, guys, can you please go to MLP and introduce yourselves there, right? But
Okay.
we were able to do that on day one, so that's why you don't see them replying in here. But they can reply to this as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that is a requirement from Laura's that you have the announcement. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the live classroom, you can access it here, which you already have anyway, have access to this. I'm hoping you do. And you hit this. You see how the recordings are like this, week one intro syllabus lecture. Now it's separated to assignment. So now, if you are looking at my class, let's say that you're doing the recording like Sylvia does, like the whole entire 2 hours. Well, during the holiday that we just had on Wednesday, you would have to send that recording to somebody if you've never taught this class, you're going to use somebody else's recording to put in your class. Well, now the students are going to be like, Miss Dr. Lacey, so which hour or minutes is the assignment 1.1 and 1.2? Then you have to look at it and said, okay, guys, this is, then you make an announcement. That's why I do it this way. So it's easier for an instructor also to use my items. But let's go to how to use it. So on Wednesday, we didn't have a class, but the assignment
Right.
and the lecture still needed, right?
Right.
So here, it says right here, Happy New Year, Lecture 3, Assignment 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7. See how I already put the clickable link?
Hmm.
Three, an assignment. So this is how you would find somebody else's lecture if you need to. Or you can use your own lecture if you need to when there's a holiday. You got to go to this button right here. It says course search. And this is BSM 120. So you have to go BSM 120. And then it will pop up. See, I don't know why BSM 110 is there. So you have me, you have Sylvia.
So for that day that well, on January 1, no class, um, that was someone else's lecture that
That
we
was
could
my
access.
lecture. I'll show you. But
Okay.
I'm showing you right now that this is how you would find a lecture. You can use somebody
Yeah.
else's, use yours, right, to recycle. But you got to make sure that that book hasn't changed, and you got to make sure that the assignment hasn't changed, right? So you got to look at
Okay.
the assignment and then compare and contrast because sometimes book change. BSM 120 has not changed, so we're okay with that one. So then I would look at the most current recent one. So if you look in here, I said, okay, so this is March 13th. And where is mine? April 17th, May 20th. Okay, I'm going to use my May 20th one because that's the most current one. So I just click on that, right? And remember, I separate mine. You see, that's why
Yes. Hmm.
I go to my live classroom. Remember, this is back in the May. I go to my live classroom and that was lecture 3. So I literally look at for lecture 3. Week 1, where's my lecture 3? So right here, week 1, day 3, that's lecture 3. I click on that and then it will pop up because it's recorded. Adobe takes a while. And okay, it's not letting it. So here's right here. You see this right here, the Google. You just hit copy. This is the link that you would need to put on that portal. And then assignment 1.5 and 1.6, the same. You click on it and whatever, when it pops up to the link, this link right here is what you copied. Okay, so let me go back to the current one so you'll know what I'm talking about. So this is May. Let me do my current courses. So that's how you would find the recordings. But let me show
Hmm.
you what recordings look like. Is my Adobe? Oh, there's the recording. Okay, so let me open your assignment. That's my previous recording. See, it's different students. You decide. There's actually three tonight. I thought there was a lot, but you need more. So that's the recording. So in my current live class, December 30th, there's no lecture 3 because we don't have any. But in the announcements, you will see, let me take a look at the announcements. On this one, let's click on it. Let's make sure that the recording is there. Lecture 3. Yep, the recording is there so the students can review it. So this is the recording from the previous class. Okay. It's
Okay.
there. And then assignment 1.5 and 1.6 recording is on there. So you just put it in the announcement. Or you can put it in your Adobe web link. You can actually create and create a web link on your Adobe. I'd like to put it on the announcements because the announcements actually will send an email to all the students.
Which one sends to all the students?
Announcements.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so just
If
put
you use the Adobe Web link, what happens with that? It doesn't send to all the students?
no, it's just in class. It will be in the class. They have to
Oh,
log
okay.
in
Okay.
the class
Okay.
to be available to them. Yeah.
Okay.
But this one, because it was a holiday, I want them to get reminded, hey, there's an assignment, here's the lecture. So that's
Yes.
why I do that. Okay. Um,
Okay.
let's see. What else do I need to tell you in this one? Oh, the quiz. Remember we had some issues last night? Like I
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and some
Is
students,
that fully resolved now? I mean, I know you asked people to refresh, and I
yeah,
saw some of those comments coming fast and furiously in the chat.
yeah, no, Nat just sent me saying he already fixed it.
Okay.
What did Nat say? Nat said,
Yeah.
evening constants, I just changed the setting to the quiz. Can you please have the students check if the quiz is accessible to them now? I didn't see that email right away, but they were still saying that even after we had a conversation. So I think I will be checking in the students today and sending an announcement. Please review your quiz because the quiz is showing. You see,
Yes.
when it's not showing, it will be like this. You see that it's not highlighted.
Right. Right. And they, I mean, they'll be reaching out because it's due by 5 o'clock, right? It has to be turned in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't had any emails, so I'm sure they have access to it now.
Yeah.
But I also want to just follow up because I want to make sure that they can take that because that's
For
45%.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were enough people saying they couldn't access it, so that makes sense.
It looks like 80% says no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing is they'll pull your leg. They'll be like, I can't access it. I guess I can't do my quiz until they will pull your leg. Let me tell you. It's not like
Yeah.
they're adults, they're not going to do that. They will. I'm like, well, Nat says it's already there, guys. You gotta do it. Uh, it's so
Well,
funny.
I appreciated that they were definitely concerned about it and wanted to be sure that they were able to access it.
Yeah. And I love that they care because that is 45
Yes.
today, but it's in there. So I will follow up an announcement today. Please double check and send support if you still are not able to see the quiz because I don't have access to anything else other than what I have, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, it's already there. So that is where it's happening. Where I probably, okay, so let's talk about grading.
Yes.
I do. okay, remember that one, we're expected to be in class an hour and a half. That's the Laura's expectation, right? Lecture, anything, the activities, an hour and a half. The class is 2.5 hours, but we give them time to do their homework. Okay. So most of my lectures are about an hour, and that half an hour I give them because there's the movies that they have to watch, the videos that they have to.
Right.
And so those actually equates to half an hour. I figure that one out. So what I do is I definitely see you guys can leave. I always say that you guys can leave and do it on your own time, or you guys can stay and I will be here for questions. Either way, I'll still gonna be here for the next 2.5 hours. I mean, an hour and a half. It's fine, right? So I stay in. And when you left last night, there were still four students there because they had questions. So I just keep asking, like, are you guys okay? Is there an assignment that you need help on? Because you got to stay in for those students. So you literally have to take that, an hour. And then after about half an hour, they actually all left. They're like, oh, we're good. We just want to make sure that if you have any questions, you're there. I'm like, yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that it's an hour and a half is the expected like time that you spending with your students with Laura's.
So that's the length of time that must be recorded is 1.5 hours.
Yeah, but everything has to still be recorded for 2.5 hours because the EAC will want to see like, did you really have that? Because it's all about the accreditation is all about the amount of hours that you spend with your students, right?
Okay.
You can literally say, well, after that 1.5 hours of time with them, the 1 hour we give them time to do their homework offline.
And it's really your office time, so people can come in and out. So even though no one after those four left the call yesterday, you remained online. So
We,
if anybody came in at hour two, because there's still
yeah.
30 minutes remaining, you're there, and that's reflected in the recording. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
And I actually use that time to see if the students have posted anything in their grade book and I grade.
Okay. Okay.
So I try to grade on a daily basis. I haven't done 1-3. I only done Tuesday. So this is where the grading comes in. So it says right here assignment, 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 assignment. The turn in slot is where you would grade. It says turn in slot. So I would click on this. Wow, MLP is crawling. And then you see how it says 36 people. Okay, there's 43. So it went down. We started at 47 students and then now we're 43. That means people drop off for many reasons. That's good. I'd rather have 35 students really, but yes. So we have 43 students in our class, 36 submitted and 16 still needs grading because I've already graded most of them.
Yeah.
So what you do is you view all students or view all submissions. Holy moly, MLP is slow.
Okay.
Okay, and then you will see each of these students. So here's the thing. You can, two ways to look at this. You can actually go hit grade. I mean, it's crawling really bad. It's so slow. I saw an error that I will report to the team too. When I graded, the student says, "Hey, I have a really nice feedback, but I don't see the grade number. MLP has not been saving my number, which we have to always
Oh,
make."
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so what you do is you click on the assignment to make sure that they have the correct answers. I've taught this enough that I can tell you. Another thing is because I show them how to do it, so I know how they do it for this first assignment, right? And what are the three parts of accounting goal, right? Record, report, and interpret. That is correct. What is cash accounting and accrual? It's literally on the lecture. And then they give it to their own words.
Yeah.
And then what is sole prop? How many owners? Partnership. I've taught this class so many times. So I just kind of skimmed through. I'm like, okay, that is yes, correct.
Yep.
Um, corporation, what do acronyms gas? And then they put all the definition. So you know
Hmm.
that is good. And then Frank did that. So this is my feedback to Frank. Now, there are students when you look at their assignment is not so detailed as this student, then the
Yeah.
different. But for the most part, my feedbacks are the same for all my students because they're sending me the same thing.
Yes. Yes.
Unless their answer, that's why you have to open all of these things if their answer is not correct.
Okay. Is there a master with the responses, or I mean, I know that
Like a math
these
answer,
are I know these are qualitative responses, but is there a master with, is there an answer sheet, in other words, or do you write out the answers and then just use that? I mean, I know you know it in your head, but I
yeah.
just wondered if there
I
was a,
a template? No, there is no
yeah,
template. That's the thing.
okay,
Yeah. Uh, I'm hoping you're never going to be given a BSM 120s in accounting class, but if you are, just come to me. Um, I actually, what I would do if I were you is I would definitely go to other professors' things and look at their students that got 100% and see what their
yeah,
answers are and kind of just look at that. Um,
yeah. Well, I know the answers from, I'm following along like and reviewing the videos, and I'm doing all of that. Because this is a wonderful refresher. I mean, let me tell you, I know some of these things more generally as a person in the business world, of course, but then some of the finer details, right? I've
We'll go
forgotten.
deep. We're actually, they're not scaring the students on first week, thank goodness. But as soon as you
Yeah,
move on to week 2 and week 3, the assignments can go deep. And that's when I spend the time to really show them this. And I give them a heads up on week 1. Get that cheat sheet because that cheat sheet you're
yeah,
gonna need. Let me tell you something. And
yeah,
um, yeah, I provide a lot for my students outside of Laurus so they can get it and not get frustrated. The goal is to have fun learning something you don't like learning about.
yeah,
My goal.
yeah,
Right? No one
yeah,
loves accounting at 5 in the afternoon after work. No one.
right.
Okay. Except for me, maybe. But I'm saying, why not have fun with it and just show them how to do it? Why make it so difficult? They're not here to be an accountant.
Yeah. And this is not easy. I mean, what the second video, I think it is, the gentleman that it was funny, he uses a little bit of profanity in there. He's funny. But he talks about the fact that he's an accounting major, and he said, I did not figure this out until after I graduated. And he gives these formulas around the accounting equation, but then he talks about from it for entries, he uses acronyms on either side of that T. And so it's really helpful the way he describes it, but he makes it, and I appreciate this. He says, look, I didn't get this the first few times. And so I said, okay, that repetition is really good. And laying the foundation like you've done for everyone in that first week is really important. And like you said, you let people know, um, you give them the information, the tips, the hints, um, the information outright that they need to really know this, because they're not necessarily going to be accountants at the end of this, like you pointed out. So
Nor a bookkeeper. They're not. And
right, right.
notice that I asked the question, who in here owns a business?
Yes,
98% do not own a business. So why am
yes,
I going to make it difficult for them?
that's right. That's right.
I could really make it difficult, but why?
Yeah. I
What's
mean,
the
and this is a new language. It's a new language. I mean, yes, we know debits, credits, but this it's not the same in accounting. Like you
no?
pointed out on day one, when you think of debits, credits, yeah, it's not the same. So yeah, this is a new language.
And you will see as we progress, it gets harder and harder.
Yeah,
Um, but around week 3, you see the light.
yeah,
See the light, and I'm like, guys, let's just have fun with it. I can't do boring. That's just not me. But
yeah,
at the same time, we need to understand the concepts, right? It's part of learning for this class.
Yep, absolutely.
And you might not even use it at all, but the fact that you have the knowledge to bring it, you can have that conversation with your bookkeeper, maybe, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'll be grading, right? What will I be
What I
grading?
was trying to tell you. So I've graded most of it already. So this is the first one that you actually how to do it. I do not like busy work in terms of that. I like quality work. I don't do
Right.
quantity. I love quality. Okay.
Yes.
So what I do is I don't hit this grade. This is too much for me. What I do is I just look at and click this and I look at their assignment and I already know. So I usually give my students 100 and then I give them the feedback. Notice
Yeah.
that most students who already submitted early will have the same feedback, except I do have
Yes.
a name on the top, on the first
Yes.
assignment especially. So
Yep.
what I want you to do is make sure you have access to these and you can grade and hit this 0, okay? Because these students did not really submit. But right now, because I give them until 5 p.m. PST,
Hmm.
you can't give them a 0 until 5 p.m. PST.
Right, right.
So, I stop working at 5. So I will come back to the 0 by Monday because the registrar's office pulls grade every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. Registrar. Let me put that down. Polls grades every Tuesday. I like that you pointed out I don't work on the weekends. I will be doing this grading, but
I have
so
to
the
do
registrar pulls the grades every Tuesday at, did you say 5 p.m.?
11 a.m. PST.
At 11 a.m. That's what you
Yeah.
said.
That's why Monday is all day for me. I stay up until 1 a.m. to finish grading.
When is that on Fridays?
No, Monday. Because
On
Friday
Monday.
they submitted at 5. I'm like, not great. Sometimes I do grade on the weekends, like if I know that I'm not gonna be able to finish, like if I have 3 classes, which I had like 120 students at one point at Loris. I had the
Yeah,
most students ever. And they're like, how do you do it? I'm like, I just flow with it because I've had 600 students at one point. I'm good. I've been doing this for a while.
yeah,
But for someone new, that can be very overwhelming. So I want you to pace yourself. By grading every day, it actually helps you and helps your students kind of reiterate like good job for spending time to do your homework now, right?
yeah,
You're
definitely.
yeah. So I won't do the 0 here until 5
Hi.
p.m. today, but
Yep.
work after 5. So I'm like, I'll see you on Monday, grade book. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
yes.
on Monday, that's when I get busy trying to grade them. But because the homework is literally the same, it's not like their final project, my feedback is gonna be the same to my students.
Right, right.
Unless
Okay.
I open and I see that their questions deviated, then I tell them. And the way I provide feedback, I don't do, I've been doing this for a long time and I teach teachers. So don't do the sandwich approach. I'm going to explain what that means. Most feedback, even at work, you will get said, "Oh my God, Deborah, you did such a good job today on this thing or on this assignment. You did such a good job. However, you could do this and that because this was really wrong. Oh, but
Mhm.
overall, you did great." I hate that approach. It's like you
Yeah,
up, you pull me down, and maybe kind of try to pull me up. I hate sandwich approach.
yeah,
And
yeah.
most teachers do that always. I have as well for years, right? Until I hated it when I became a student again.
Oh,
So I said, okay, I'm gonna do it differently because when I got my master's in information technology for cybersecurity and counterterrorism, it was very
mhm.
it was hacking every day. And the assignment's like, you did this wrong. I'm like, anything that I did right? Like, can you motivate
I
me?
know, right?
Did I do anything right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna demotivate your students. You don't want to do that. These are
No.
adults. They don't need to be reprimanded kind of feedback or like pat in the back. You don't need that either. So what I do for feedback, if they don't do it correctly, I always use the word continuous improvement, right? So this is how I would give feedback. Hey, Deborah, thank you so much for doing this homework. On number one and number two and number three, this was really amazing because you went dig deeper on accrual and cash accounting. In the other parts, which is four, five, and six, I want you to reflect on this specifically. And here's why. We can need to continuously improve in this area for this reason, right? It doesn't seem like you're telling them they're doing bad, that you're just telling them to find the right answer somewhere else.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like,
It does. It absolutely does. Yeah.
like just improve it. Just tell me exactly what you want me to do because people will tell you you're wrong, but not tell you how to find the solutions.
So they don't get any points, or do you give some point for it?
Oh no,
Or
if they do a great job and they just doing it, it's usually 80-20. It's like I put them 80% and 20. It's like, hey, continue.
gotcha.
Because you
Okay.
can tell them the
Okay.
reason why you're taking points off.
Yeah. Yeah,
And most of my
absolutely.
students, they'll get 100. I'm not that strict when it comes to that because, like I said, they're not being an accountant, right?
Right.
They're not trying to be a bookkeeper, but I can tell them in the feedback, hey, by the way, these are where you can find the answers for these.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I'm in the MLP and if I may, I'd like to share my screen. Let me
Yes.
see
And
if
then I
I
can
know
show
how to
you
get.
how to do it. Yes. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay, so let me share. Come in here. All right. So we go to the home page and then I'm
Go
coming
down.
in.
Oh, you
Um,
were already there. Go back.
yeah, I'm in the grade. I go to my start with my courses. And then I select this course. Oops.
Okay. And
And
then go to week one. Go all the way to week one. See on the left side. Go down.
okay.
Okay, stop. And then go to assignment 1.1 turn in slot. Yep.
Okay, 1.1 turn in slot. Okay, there we go.
You all submissions.
Okay, so let me that in I see a flaw in my notes here. I see what I didn't do. I didn't go to 1.1 turn in. I've got the view all admissions. Okay, just updating my notes here. Okay, that's why I like to show.
That
Uh,
means you're a kinesthetic learner. I
yes, absolutely.
love
So view
that.
all submissions, and then we wait because it's a little slow.
Yes.
All right, and
So I want you
then
to do one grade for me. I want you to do one grade for me. So go down, keep going down. Um, okay, so this one, oh, you can't grade. Can you grade?
I don't know, how do I know that I can? Let's see.
Well, hold on, go back up. I don't think you can grade.
So can we get that updated so that I?
Yeah, could go down a little bit and then go down to the students. Click on Paul. Click on Paul.
Okay,
Nope, not that one. Paul, go down.
you said Paul, not Frank.
Because Frank already has a grade, so Paul doesn't.
Yes, yes,
And click on grade. Click on grade. Grade right there. The orange one. Oh, go back. Just hit the arrow back up. Yeah.
yeah,
And then
and
go back
then
to
go
Paul.
back
Yep. And then
to
on that. Yep.
Paul, and then grade. It looks like something's happening.
Okay, so you can grade.
Okay.
You can. Can you do it? Yep, you can grade. Okay, perfect. So click on his submission. Oh, he gave you a picture. That's funny. Click on the submission that says DCCX.SVG. Why did he give you SVG? It doesn't open. Hold on. What the heck was he thinking?
Hmm.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, we don't accept that. So, I'm gonna put Okay, do me a favor and go ahead and put 0 on his grade. So go back out. It's easier to go back out.
Not here?
You can do it here too. Go ahead and put 0 and then go down to the feedback. Yep, go down. There you go. And then just type right there down below, right here, right down below it. Yep, yep, that white screen. And just says, "Hey, Paul, thank you for your submission. However, I cannot open your file. We don't do SVG, we only do Word document. Please resubmit." SVG is for t-shirts making. I know because I teach cutting machine.
Oh,
Yeah,
only Word.
yeah, only Word or PDF, but like we can't open that assignment. Just please resubmit your, yeah.
All right.
And then right there on the orange button, it says save changes.
Mm-hmm. And that I see that the notify student is checked. So once you save changes, that
They tell them, they send an email saying, "Hey, what's happening with this
okay.
submission?" Yeah. And then
Okay.
on that arrow, click on the arrow up on the top to go to the next student. Top right, it says change user, arrow to the right.
There
Because
we
you're
go.
033. Yep.
Yeah, I've got our image blocking that's on. All right, so next student,
Wilfred.
Wilfred.
See, Quejeda. All right. So click on his assignment. Hey, he has Word document. Perfect. And the Word, it says right there, assignment. Click on his assignment submission. It's in Word doc.
Okay, now where
1.1,
I
right
I'm looking here.
there. Where your arrow go down, one more.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
yeah. I've got our image blocking some stuff here, so let me okay, so there's the assignment.
Open it. I know we have to open all assignments. That's crazy. It's so much download on the computer. Just delete it afterwards.
Now, do I need this to do I need a new screen share or do you see this his
No, I
assignment?
see it. But do you have a
Okay.
Word doc or no?
Do I have a what?
Do you have the Word doc uploaded? Do you know what his assignments are? Because I can't see the Word doc.
That's what I was asking if we so let me
Oh,
do a
yeah.
new share. Yeah, let me do a new share. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, now do you see his assignment?
No.
No? Okay, wait a second. Let's just do a new screen share. Let me see if
You have
it.
to do stop share and then hit the new share.
Yeah, let me do it again. Yeah. Um, right. Okay, now there we are.
Okay, perfect. Can you make it
Yeah.
a little bit bigger? Bottom right, it says 100%. Those little arrow, just make that one bigger. Yeah, move it.
Come on. Oh, well, not that big.
And also, too, if you don't have the word, um, like any of the suite, like you don't have it in your computer, Nat can give it.
Mhm.
Of course, we'll give it to you for free.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Report,
So three parts. Okay.
input, report, interpret. That's correct.
Yeah.
Tab.
Or interpret data. Okay. Two principal methods. Okay. Cash accounting, accrual method. Okay.
Sole prop, one or more.
Yeah.
Married couple. That's
Married couples. Partnerships, two or more.
yep.
Ownership, profits and losses. LLP. One general partner.
Yep.
A limited partner. LLP. Two or more owners. Yeah. provide all owners with limited personal liability.
Yep.
Okay, LLC. There's a single.
By one person corporation. That's correct.
Yep, yep. And then corporation C Corp. Okay, large or owned by one person. Yep. Separate legal entities, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Who are business stakeholders? How do they interact with the business? Okay, so they have an interest in the activities and performance of the business. Yep. Different roles. Yep. Interact with business, right? Internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, accounting equation,
Asset.
liability, stockholder equity. Yep. I love how they expound on this. It
Yep.
shows
Because
that,
that's what me, I'm like, guys, give me the answer correctly. Gap.
yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so now you go back to your grade book.
I think I have to do a new share here.
Back to your grade book. And this is when I tell you the reason why I do the other way of grading. We're teaching you the hard way right now, just so you can see the difference between faster grading and slow grading. I don't know how other teachers do it, but I'm not concerned about how they do it. I'm concerned about how I do my own grading, okay? So now, right, look at this. You can't see my feedback to the other students.
Right.
So now you're gonna have to come here or put a note, copy and paste what I already said because their feedback is gonna be the
Mhm.
same because they're submitting the same thing.
Yes.
So now
Okay.
either you're gonna give them a different feedback or you're gonna have the same feedback as I did. Obviously here
Okay.
you can't see it, right?
Right.
Okay. So I
Right.
want you to go back arrow, back out to the main feedback, and I'll show you the fastest way to grade it. You're getting the CJ secret.
I have an appointment in 15 minutes. I need to call them and tell them I'm going to be late. So let
Okay.
me
You should
do
be
that.
done though. After I show you grading, you should be done.
Let me tell this guy. I want to because I'm definitely going to be late. So let me let him know that. Like I said, I can't believe that I had this all wrong. But anyway, I and like I said, I kept confirming PM. I'm like, ah. um, hold on a minute. Let me just make this quick call.
I'll mute you so you can make your call.
Yeah, this is